Good morning, welcome to Morning Outlook. This is Kim speaking on Thursday the 19th of March. So looking at the euro dollar, yesterday I was talking about, it hasn't yet come back down to the sort of, when we were looking at earlier on yesterday, hadn't come back down to its lows, whereas the dollar index had pushed through its highs. So hence there was more scope potentially on the euro, and sure enough we saw that scope yesterday went further than I expected by some way there for a daily move, but all the same it's continuing to retrace that downward section at the moment. We saw the retrace through the following on from the earlier move there through into yesterday evening, and then this early hours this morning we've seen it roll back over here. Now it's already ticked off its daily pivot. A decent retracement, maybe back towards that 108.81 area. If the key moving averages tie with that, maybe a little bit further, may give an opportunity for yet another sell point. We'll see how it runs, but certainly looking at the potential of continued sell-off at this stage. Now, obviously, at some point it will reverse, and we'll see reversals in this. But at the moment, my preference is to wait for the retracements and sell into those. So that's the euro. The pound, well, the pound 35-year low yesterday. It's coming back down towards that at the moment. 35 years. It's still, it's consolidating where it is. Why it's quite so low compared to the euro, etc. Well, I suppose at the end of the day you've got behind it all, you've got the Brexit there somewhere maybe, but I do wonder if that will get postponed somewhat. Discussions and talks on that more. Where we're sitting is consolidating. We have got the daily pivot above. Well, not really looking back. Yesterday it was right, the daily pivot was right up here. It touched it earlier today. I think it's going to be a struggle. If it starts breaking and reversing completely here, well, maybe it'll become a target, but for now it still looks soft to me, and we could see a continuation. Again, with these markets where they're not already retracing, I would be looking for retracements to do something with them, which just means you've got to sit there patiently if you want to get into the better trades. Now, dollar yen, well, we're seeing continuation softening here. It really is a move to the dollar and nothing else seems acceptable. Someone mentioned Swissy yesterday. We looked at the Swissy, and the Swissy also had sold off. So these currencies such as the Swissy and the yen are just not holding it at the moment. Let's say that may all change, and when they do change we might get some absolutely sweeping moves, some fantastic moves, but for now we've just got to trade what there is, and it looks like there's further upside potential on these markets. It's again patience. I mean, well, 2 or 3 of these markets this morning have sold off quite quickly, and this one, the yen's given over again quite quickly the last hour, so maybe a bit more tricky trying to trade this. It's not moving quite so far. Yesterday I was talking about the 500 previous highs, and whatever else took absolutely hours to get anywhere near doing that. It ran up to its R1 eventually, but it's not looking great there. It's slower, so there may be better currencies to be looking for the retracements. Talking of which, we're getting onto the Aussie dollar. Looking at this, it's having a bit of a retracement through the Asian session here. Again, significant lows. It might already be rolling from that move back to the 4-hourly 8. We'll see how this runs. It could be an easy trend line break over the lows there for a play back down towards the lows. Some decent movement potentially there if it does start rolling, so it'd be maybe one to watch, the Aussie dollar there. Canadian dollar, well, $24 oil is not going to be helping somewhere that it costs $40 to get it out the ground basically, so from that side, one of their biggest exports is just going to struggle big time here, and we're seeing that really as the currency weakens further. in terms of retracements, I looked yesterday, I thought, oh, we may get a half decent retrace at some point on some of these currencies. A half decent retrace at the moment seems to be back to a lot of the 4-hourly 8s. Looking back, 4-hourly 8s correlating not too far away from the 60-21 maybe. So we might see another push up at some point on this Canadian dollar this morning, leading into the afternoon. There is some divergence running across the top, so I'm very aware of that, and that may stifle things somewhat. But what we're generally seeing is consolidation, where we're getting divergence as opposed to proper retracements, and then we're seeing a continuation. Okay, that's pretty much it. Now, news-wise today, he says, grappling quickly here on the other side, and we've had Aussie data out, employment change, etc. It looked all good. Cash rate is staying at 0.25. There's not going to be any changes there. We have 8:30. We've got the Swiss National Bank monetary policy assessment, etc. It's already sitting the Swiss dollar is sitting at a minus 0.75 already. Can't see it being changed too much, but there we are. President Trump speaking at some point today. Got a tentative time, so really news of that nature, normal fundamental news, is having very little effect on these markets relative to the actual price, and obviously the coronavirus fears, etc., taking over. That's it for me. Have a good day. Hope you're all okay. Bye for now.